Yesterday we have discussed about that is dialysis, that is how to purify the colloidal solutions, colloidal particles. So generally, previous class what we discussed here, preparation of colloids. So now colloids are prepared. You obtain colloids. Now the colloids we have to separate impurities. Generally, colloid they contain soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. Insoluble impurities you have to separate by filter. Whereas soluble colloids means what? Two colloids. So impurities how to separate by using some separate methods. Yesterday we have discussed dialysis, how to remove impurities, means soluble impurities from colloid particles. So dialysis we have discussed yesterday. So what? You have to use a parchment paper, it's a membrane. So colloid particles keeping inside parchment paper, you have to add fresh water. The impurities are that can move outside. So that is dialysis. Now there are two more methods we have to separate the soluble impurities from colloid particles. Another one is, first one is dialysis, second one is electrodialysis, third one is ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration. One more is there, that is ultracentrifugation. Centrifugation, it is not there, but anyhow I'm going to explain. So second method is electrodialysis. Electrodialysis means what? It is a dialysis process, but here what can be made fast by using electric field. Is same that is what dialysis process. But in presence of electrodes, by using electrodes, we have to remove the soluble impurities from that is colloidal particles. How it is? So this is the container, the vessel containing water. This is a water, means water. It is water. This is a water. Means this is a suitable electrolyte. Suitable electrolyte solution. Electrolyte solution. So this is what parchment paper, that is membrane. Membrane. These two are electrodes. Electrodes. One is acting as positive, another acting as negative. So generally, so you have to take that one vessel containing water or electrolyte solution. The parchment paper you have to keep inside the vessel, dipped into the water. Now this parchment paper or membrane filled with that is colloidal particles. Generally, colloidal particles they have charge. Means colloidal particles they carry the charge, either positive or negative. Either positive or negative. Now, in this solution vessel, we have to dip two electrodes. Two electrodes. One is act as anode, second one is act as cathode. Two electrodes. Now here what happened? When electrode is dipped means here some electricity is produced. Electricity is produced. How it is impurities are removed means, generally called it, these colloidal particles are what? They have charge now. Now the charge particle means they contain equal charge particles, positive and negative particles. Positive and negative particles. Now here this electrode produce positive particles. One is negative. So now this positive electrode to attract the negative particles inside of the colloids. So inside the colloid they contain positive, negative charge particles. What is the charge of this electrode? Positive. Now this positive electrode to attract the negative particles. To attract the negative particles means what? The respective particles are move the respective electrodes. The respective electrodes. Here same, the negative means positive. So the what is the membrane property? The membrane which allow the only ions, not that is colloidal particles. The ions are come outside. The ions are come outside. So here inside is the pure that is colloidal solution is present. Outside are ions are formed. Means impurities are come outside as impurities. As impurities. So this is the what electrode. So the process of dialysis is a dialysis, but can be made fast. How they are particles, how they are moved fast by electric field. By using electric field, you have to separate the impurities. You have to separate impurities. Here, the respective ions are moved, the respective electrode side. Then they form. Means impurities are come outside, the fluid form is present in parchment paper or membrane. So this is electrodialysis, right? So next one, ultrafiltration. It is one of the process we have to remove the impurities by using ultrafiltration. So in which it is a process of removing of impurities from the colloidal solutions by passing it through the graded filter paper. So this is very important. Generally, in dialysis and electrodialysis, we have used membrane, that is parchment paper, for separation of colloidal impurities from colloidal particles. But we have to use ultrafiltration process, in which we have to use a graded filter paper, that is called what? Ultrafiltration. Graded filter paper means that is called ultrafiltration. So generally, the paper, ultrafiltration paper, is containing in general large porous size. Porous are very large size, means the holes are very large in size. When the porous is prepared, how it is prepared? The membrane is, you have to dip in 4% of mixture of alcohol and ether. So generally it is considered is parchment paper, means filter paper. They contain in large sizes holes like this. So if you use this kind of filter paper, the particles are cannot remove, because generally this is you have to use this type of filter papers. You have to use that is soluble particles are present in colloidal particles. You have to separate. That's what soluble particles are, we have to separate. But if the filter paper porous size is this much large, means how we can separate? That is why we have to use 4% solution of nitrocellulose. This is one type of ultrafiltration paper. 4% of solution of nitrocellulose. Generally, the ultrafiltered paper, general parchment paper, they contain large porous. Orderly they contain large porous. This paper is dipped into the mixture of alcohol and ethers. What happens? The size of the porous it becomes too small in size. It is a large. Initially, it is large. When dipped in alcohol and ethers, it becomes what? Small in size. That means what? We can filter any soluble impurities, because actually it is slow process. Why? Because initially there are large sizes. When dipped in the solution of 4% of alcohol and ethers, now this what the holes are comes to close each other. Means what? The size of the hole is decreases. Very fine hole, small in hole. Now the colloidal solution is, or colloidal solids, keep it inside of the ultrafilter paper. Then you have to separate. Now generally it is a what? Ultrafiltration is slow process. For increased speed of the filtration speed, we have to apply the pressure. Otherwise can't means process is going on, but it is a slow process. That is if you apply pressure, what happens? The filtration is more. The filtration is more. Why it is slow process means after dissolving the paper is dissolving the alcohol and ethers, it going to be small sizes, no small holes. Now it is difficult to that is filter. So that is you have to apply the what pressure, and the process filtration is depends upon the ether, the nature of the alcohol and ethers, nature of the alcohol and ethers. Okay na? So the paper is depends upon alcohol and ethers only, right? So this is ultrafiltration. So generally, once again I will repeat, ultrafiltration is a process. This is used to remove the that is soluble impurities from colloidal solution. We have discussed electrodialysis and dialysis where we have to use that is membranes, that is what parchment membrane. But here ultrafiltration means what? A minute small size particles also, even though we have to separate. How we are separate? By using ultrafilter paper. So here ultrafilter paper means 4% of nitrocellulose. Means what? The cellulose paper you have to dip in alcohol and ethers. Now it is called what? Nitrocellulose paper. Now it has small orderly porous size part. Means the porous size they are arranged in orderly in small in size. Now the that is colloidal solution or salt you have to keep in the solution of nitrocellulose. Solution of nitrocellulose. The cellulose paper is containing what? Small in size. The impurities are come outside through holes. Through holes. The holes are very small due to the filtration is that is will take more time for filtering. Means here inside the impurities are come outside. It will take more time. That is why you have to apply pressure. If this pressure is applied, now impurities are come outside easily. So that is called ultrafiltration. So these are the three important, very important process. We have to remove the soluble impurities from colloidal solution. First one is dialysis, second one is electrodialysis, third one is ultrafiltration. These are the three important that is separation of colloidal solutions. So now preparation is over and separation is over. Next one is properties of colloidal solutions. Properties of colloidal solutions. Now we have to explain. Okay? Right. So properties means generally the properties of solution. First one is colligative properties. So what is colligative property means? The property of colloidal solution depends upon number of particles. Number of particles present in a colloidal solution. Same as solutions. Solutions have also contain some property. The solution properties depends upon number of particles, but not nature of the particles. So next one is properties of colloidal solutions. Properties of colloidal salts or colloidal solutions. Colloidal solutions. First one is colligative property. Colligative property. So what is colligative property? Same as solutions. Solution is containing solute plus solvent, right? So the solution properties depends upon number of solute particles in a solution. Here same as the colligative properties means what? The colloidal solution properties which depends upon number of particles present in a colloidal solution. The properties of colloidal solutions depends upon number of particles present in a colloidal solution. That is called what? Colligative properties. So the properties of the properties of colloid solution, colloid salts depends upon number of particles, number of particles, but not nature of particles. This is called what? Colligative property. So what are the types of colligative properties? They are following types. First one is lowering of vapor pressure. Second one is elevation in boiling point. Next one is depression in freezing point. Next one is osmotic pressure. These are the important four important colligative properties of solution as well as colloidal solutions. What are the important colligative properties? First one is lowering of vapor pressure, second one is elevation in boiling point, and third one is depression in freezing point, fourth one is osmotic pressure. So generally the colloidal properties depends upon the number of particles so in solution. Generally the colloidal particles mean the colloidal solution is containing particles which are physically aggregated. For if you observe, if you take 100 or 1000 colloidal particles, the 1000 colloidal particles they are aggregated. So 1000 of particles they are physically aggregated. Now if you observe the colligative values of observed colligative values, it is becomes 1/1000 values. Means if you observe the physical particles aggregation of particles in 1000, the observed colligative values it becomes to 1/1000. It means what? It means the out of this four, only osmotic pressure is the measurable values. Means these are the osmotic pressure is they containing measurable values when compared to solution and colligative salts or colligative solution. The osmotic pressure only they are containing measurable values in whereas solution and colloidal solution, and remaining three are not measurable values. This is only measurable values. These are non-measurable. Means what? Lowering of vapor pressure, elevation boiling point, depression freezing point. These are means non-measurable. You cannot measure due to nature of the particles. Means due to number of particles. These are non-measurable. So here measurable values means osmotic pressure they containing measurable values. Right. So this is the property of colligative property. So once again I will tell you, collider properties, they containing some colligative properties. Colligative properties same as solutions. Solution also they has, true solutions they has some colligative property. What is the colligative property? The property of solution or the properties of collider solution. Collider solution depends upon number of particles, but not nature. The property of collider solution which depends upon number of colloidal particles present in collider solution. What are the colligative properties? Types of lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. These are the four colligative properties. So colloidal solution they contain four colloidal properties. Similar to solution, true solutions. True solutions also they contain four properties. When compared to solution that is colligative values and colloidal solution colligative values, only osmotic pressure value is the measurable. Only osmotic pressure only measurable, whereas remaining are not measurable values. These are the only containing measurable values, whereas lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point and depression of freezing point, these are what? Not measurable values. Not measurable values. This is the one property, colligative property. Right. So next property is next one after colligative properties. Next one is optical properties. Optical properties. So now this optical property how to explain that is this is explain. This is one of the property how the colloidal particles to express the optical properties. Optical properties. So here first one, this optical property explained based on Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect. So what is Tyndall effect? For example, now it is colloidal solution you have to take into one vessel. Now we have to focus the one beam of light. One beam of light. This is a light source. Now this light source pass through lens system into the colloidal system. Now what happens if you see by using ultra microscope the colloidals, if you see towards colloidal solution by using ultra microscope, the colloidal solutions are going to be scattered. Means what? The molecules can scatter. Right. So we have to observe this one. This is called what? Tyndall effect. So what is Tyndall effect? Means it is very important for 2 marks question. What is Tyndall effect? A beam of light is passed into the colloidal solution. The colloidal solution to get, if you see the colloidal solution by using ultra microscope, the colloidal particles to get scattering. So scattering of light by passing of the scattering of particles, colloidal particles by passing of beam of light. That is called Tyndall effect. Scattering of that is colloidal particles by passing a beam of light. beam of light. This is called what? That is Tyndall effect. So, for example, to a few examples, the dust particles can see semi-dark room. If you observe, if you dark room, if you take one dark room, if pass the one beam of light through a fine hole, what happens? We can see that light focus into the room, That is what the particles are can move. That is circular in motion. So now consider cinema theater, a cinema hall. From projection means opposite screen, means seat's backside there is a projection hall is there now. From that projection, a beam of light is focused on screen. If you see, the particles can rotate like this, focused on screen. So that is projection beam of a cinema projector is visible due to scattering of light. When light is focused into the that frame, right? The particles become invisible. That is called scattering of light. In a dark room, very dark room, if you see very dark room, you have to hold on top of the room, you have to hold. When a beam of light is focused in it, then what happens? When one light is focused into the room, so that means what? The particles can scatter by light. That is scattering of light. Now this is Tyndall cone. The light means the scattering affected in this only. So this is a light source now. When light is passed to colloidal solution, we can observe how the colloidal particles are migrate, move. So that is this optical property. So optical property, how to explain Tyndall effect. So once again I will let me explain. Tyndall effect means the scattering of light in colloidal particles by passing a beam of light. When pass the beam of light, the colloids can be scattered. That is Tyndall effect. Scattering of colloidal particles in a colloidal solution by beam of light. A beam of light is passed into the colloidal solution. Now the molecules can scatter. Now this is a light. Light we have to pass from into the solution. Now we can see with microscope the molecules are colgate solution particles can move through Tyndall cone inside of the solution only. We can visible here. We can see. Right. So this is. So what are the example means? A dark room. So dust particles can be seen in a dark room by passing beam of light. And cinema hall, the projector beam of light, cinema projector means passed into the projector. Here what? Due to scattering of light by dust and smoke particles. This is one property. Second one is color property. So here colloidal salts are, that is colloidal salts can also exhibit color property. So the color property colloids depends upon wavelength. The colloidal properties depends upon what? In which wavelength. But wavelength also depends upon what? That is the size and nature of the particles. The size and nature of the particles. When size is increases, that is colloidal particle size increases, the color changes. The size is increases means the wavelength also somewhat different or increases. So certain wavelength we can see certain size only. Right? We not see even one, if, for example, 300 nanometers wavelength. We can see that particular. If wavelength is increases, we can't see that particulars. Means the size of the particles. When wavelength is increases, the particle size. When particle size is increases, wavelength also have to increases. We cannot see, certain one type of wavelength. That is why the color also depends upon wavelength. This wavelength is depends upon the size and the nature of the particles. For example, if you see gold sol, so gold sol is a fine, that is a very fine size particles. First it is initially red in color. Gold particles not in gold initially. These are what? These are the very fine particles. Initially it is appears red in color. When size increases, the gold sol size increases, it is appears like purple color. Again, it is when size is increases, that is blue, and finally it is appears golden color. Golden color. It is finally appears golden color. It means that what? The size of the cells depends upon, means the color of the cells depends upon size. When size is increases, color also increases. Means color changes, not increases. Size of the colloidal solution is increases, color is automatically changes. It means that what? The color property of colloid solution depends upon wavelength, and the wavelength is depends upon size and the nature of the colloidal particles. So these are the some properties. And tomorrow I am going to explain kinetic property, that is Brownian movement, very important, right? Thank you.